This is going to be a quick big block S10 swap header video. Okay, there's the driver's side header off of mine. There's the passenger side. Gen 1 Camaro header. Key things you need to watch for. That's also a Gen 1 Camaro header. You need to keep the tubes grouped up high and as tight as possible, like that header, not like that header. Driver's side header. Same thing. You want to make sure it dumps back here between the last two cylinders. You want these tubes to stay up tight. If it necks down and comes over, you're going to have a problem. That ain't going to work. And you can see, like I said, I use two different headers to make this work. These are cheap eBay stainless headers, okay? They might be cheap, but they got a 3/8 flange, they're 2.5 collector, 3/8 flange down here. They worked. They didn't leak. They lasted. They were on the truck, what, 3 years? So, but here's one key thing to watch on this one. This is a generic block hugger. That's all it is. It really don't fit any vehicle. Okay, when you lay this up there like it's going to go on the engine, it's an angle at which your head kicks the exhaust out. You want to make sure that your collector, look at this bow hole, is straight in line with the middle of the collector. The more the collector that's on this side, the inside of this, the better. But this is going to dump right in front of the oil filter, straight down. Worst case scenario, you might have to put a little concave section in the inside of the frame rail. No big deal. You can take and cut it out, take a piece of pipe, cut you a section of it out, put it in there, weld it in. There's your concave place, weld it back in. You're structurally going to be just as sound as you were before. That's what I did on mine. It's still in there to this day, even though I'm not using these. I keep these just as a template so I know what works. I can take them, I use them to measure up with. I don't know how many times we've used these as test fit on a couple other trucks, but that's the main thing. Okay, another thing that's going to help you, and I'll show you on my truck in here, as long as my phone keeps recording. It cut off. I've tried to do this 3 times in the last 10 minutes. Evidently my phone, it's time to move shit to the memory card. Okay, we're going to turn the torch on. I got to make this quick because I'm at 10% battery. See how my column's way down, low? Yeah, it's the Jeep steering shaft. But I've got it dropped all the way down against the pinch weld, which you'll see on the inside of the floorboard. Okay, I cut that out. I welded a new piece of plate into the firewall, and that's just one of those generic Speedway $99, $100 steering columns with a movable steering wheel, 1-inch double D on this end. Comes up through here, steering wheel comes off and on. There's the little thing. The pin goes through it. They're cheap, they're effective, they work. You can use your factory bracket in here. All I did was I cut a notch out of the top of the bracket where it goes up in to there. I welded the bottom part of a muffler clamp in it, put the clamp part this way, put the nuts on it, tightened it down, done. You can shake the whole goddamn truck by it. It's not going anywhere. And then I made my own bracket at the firewall. And I used a piece of fuel line, split it, put it around it, seam sealed it, done. Okay? But that's the headers I used to do this with. And I just put this up because it come up on Facebook again, and everybody keeps pointing to me. There was a kid using another body on an S10 chassis with a big block in it. I've been told the H8013 Patriot headers for Camaro work. Sanderson makes a set of block huggers for a Tri-5 55 to 55 Chevy that I've been told by a buddy they work, but they're kind of pricey. And I had another kid tell me that 2nd gen Camaro headers, Headman's shorty headers, work. That one I can't confirm. I don't know. But the main thing is there's the general shape of what you have to have. They both go down through the frame. This one ain't no big deal, other than you have to run a tubular upper control arm because it's real close right here. This one would hit, this one won't, but the ones from Speedway for 50 bucks, they work. Aluminum or steel center section, that's your choice. You pick what you want. They're greasable, they work. They're for a metric G body. I believe it's 2 8-inch arms. I think there's an 8 and 8.5. You want the shorter one. If you look in the comments, when you look them up on Speedway, there's several comments in there about what works for an S10. You get 2 of the same side. I believe it's 2 of the shorter ones. I ain't got time and tape measure. I'd measure mine and show you. But two of the shorter ones, you just flip one over and put it on the other side. And yes, with no motor in the truck, no weight, they will come down and lay against the frame, okay? Don't freak out. I used a regular S10 ball joint Moog brand. They've been on the truck for 3-4 years now, no issues. So I still have stock 2.2 springs in the front of that truck with aluminum headed big block turbos and all the other bullshit, and 2 radiators in the front of it, and it only squatted at about a ½ inch more than it did with the 4-cylinder. So, and no matter what, lowering springs for an S10 in the front might have different part numbers, but they all gonna have the same effect. I've done 4-cylinder springs, V6 springs, 2.8 springs, 4.3 springs, and the truck don't set no lower with the 4-cylinder than it did with the V6 springs, okay? So, but there's the headers. That's what I had on the truck. That one right there, Gen 1 Camaro, tight tube grouping, generic block hugger, tubes grouped to the back between the back 2 cylinders. That's all I can do. That's all I can do to show everybody, is show you the actual headers off the truck out here laying on the ground. And tell you what they came off of, tell you what to look for. This is what worked for me. So, I have never laid my eyes on the other headers, except the H8012s, 8012s, 8013s. The 8013s are a 2-inch tube, the 8012s are 1 7/8 tube, if I remember correctly. But I've been told those will work. 9906 Transdapt small block Chevy mount. You will have to alter the driver's side mount to clear plugs along the oil galley line down at the bottom of the block at the oil pan rail. No big deal. You just chamfer an angle on it, it'll bolt right on. I use a polyurethane 2.8 frame mount. Okay, there's a guy on eBay that makes them and sells them. I got a spare set. I got the set that's on the truck. They're 3/16 plate. They last. They work. Well worth the money. I destroyed 3 pair of stock 2.8 mounts with the old iron-headed motor in there because it just chew them up. So, but there you go. I bought a new set and we built this motor, but I just put the old set back on because there wasn't nothing wrong with them. But there you are. There's the 2 headers I used. I putting as much in this as I can. If I repeat myself, I apologize. But that's what you got to have. That's what worked for me with those motor mounts. Engine slid all the way back. If you run a 4-quart pan like off a Chevelle or something, you shouldn't have to notch your engine cross member. It should clear like a small block pan does. I've got an 8-quart pan on mine now, Meladon pan. I had to notch it for the sump because it dropped down lower. But as far as the front part of the pan, I got 2.5 inches between the pan and the engine cross member on the front part of the pan. So, and if you really wanted to, you could actually take the motor mounts, set it in there, get it square. You could slide the engine back almost another 1.5 inches and either tack weld your mounts down, pull the motor out, re-drill new holes, weld them in, whatever you want to do. But you could actually slide the engine back farther than that. So, and that's the way I've got mine now. I slid mine back till I almost touched the firewall. I got enough room to get my hand behind it to run my plug wires behind the heads, get my dipstick in tube for transmission. And it shifted the weight back a little bit more. So, there you are. There's the headers. Everybody, stay safe. God bless. When that blow-off valve gets here, we'll get out. We'll get everything finished up, tightened up, it on, everything done, and we're going to take the damn truck out and beat on it. Later.